I changed my life in one day. Here's what happened. The day everything stopped. I did not wake up powerful. I woke up tired. My phone was in my hand. My mind was already noisy. I checked messages. I checked social media. I checked things that did not matter. Minutes passed, then an hour. I felt the same heavy feeling, the feeling I knew too well. Nothing was broken, but nothing was right. My life was not a disaster, but it was not moving forward. Days looked the same. Weeks felt empty. I was busy, but I was not building anything. I was learning, but I was not applying. I was dreaming, but I was not acting. That morning felt normal, and that was the problem. Normal had become my prison. I sat on the edge of my bed, and I asked a simple question. Is this really my life? Not tomorrow, not next year. This one, today. The answer was quiet, but clear. No. I was not living. I was repeating. I was not growing. I was surviving. That moment did not feel dramatic. There was no music, no big speech, just silence. And inside that silence, I felt something new. Responsibility. Not blame, not guilt. Responsibility. I realized something simple. No one was coming. No mentor, no miracle, no perfect time. If my life was going to change, it had to start with me. Not next week, not next month. Today. I stood up slowly. Not motivated, but decided. Decision is quiet. Motivation is loud. I chose decision. I said one sentence out loud. I will not fix my whole life today. I will fix this day. That sentence changed everything. I stopped thinking about my past. I stopped worrying about my future. I focused on the next hour. Just 1 hour. I looked around my room. It was messy. Not dirty, just careless. Clothes on the chair, papers on the desk. The room looked like my mind. So I cleaned. Slowly, silently. I did not rush. I did not play music. I cleaned with intention. Every item back in place. Every surface clear. As the room changed, something inside me shifted. I could breathe better. Order creates calm. That was my first lesson. I finished cleaning. I stood in the middle of the room. I felt lighter, not happy, but clear. Clarity is powerful. Then I made my bed. It sounds small. It was not. It was a signal. I am in control. After that, I drank a glass of water. Not coffee, water. I had ignored my body for too long. I drank slowly, like it mattered, because it did. Then I did something uncomfortable. I turned my phone off. Not silent, off. My heart beat faster. That scared me. Why was silence scary? Because noise had become my escape. I sat down with no phone, no music, no screen. Just me. The first 5 minutes were hard. My mind jumped everywhere. Regret, worry, excuses. I wanted to stop, but I stayed. I watched my thoughts, like clouds passing. I did not fight them. I just noticed. After 10 minutes, the noise slowed. After 15, I felt present. That was rare. I asked myself another question. What am I avoiding? The answer came quickly. My potential. I was scared to try, because trying means failing. So I stayed safe. Safe is comfortable. Safe is slow death. I wrote that sentence down. Safe is slow death. It hurt, but it was true. I opened a notebook. Not a planner, not a journal app. Paper. I wrote 1 page. Not goals, not dreams. Truth. I wrote about my habits, my excuses, my wasted time. I did not judge. I observed. Honesty felt heavy, but freeing. Then I wrote one more thing. If nothing changes, where will I be in 1 year? The picture was clear. Same place, same thoughts, same regret. That scared me more than failure. Fear can wake you up. I closed the notebook. I stood up. I decided to act. Not everything, just one thing. The thing I had avoided most. I sat at my desk. I opened my laptop. I worked. No multitasking. No distractions. Just one task. The task that mattered. The first minutes were painful. My brain wanted escape. But I stayed. I told myself, just 10 minutes. 10 became 20. 20 became an hour. I was in flow. Time disappeared. When I stopped, I felt proud. Not because it was perfect, but because I showed up. Showing up changes identity. I was no longer someone who avoids. I was someone who acts. That shift was powerful. Then I moved my body. Not a workout. Movement. Stretching. Walking. Blood started flowing. Energy returned. I realized something important. Action creates motivation. Not the other way around. By noon, nothing magical had happened. I was not rich. I was not famous. But I was different. More awake. More present. I ate a simple meal. Slowly. Without a screen. I tasted the food. I had forgotten how to do that. Life hides in small moments. In the afternoon, I planned. Not my whole life. Just tomorrow. 3 tasks. Only 3. Clear. Realistic. I felt calm. That surprised me. I had expected excitement. Instead, I felt grounded. As the day went on, I noticed something else. I complained less. I judged less. Because I was busy building. That night, I did not scroll. I read a few pages. Not for productivity. For peace. Before sleeping, I looked back at the day. Nothing dramatic. But something fundamental had changed. I kept a promise to myself. That was new. I went to bed early. Not because I had to, because I wanted to. I fell asleep easily. For the first time in a long time. And that was the end of the day. Not the end of the story. Just the beginning. Part 2. The Inner Shift and New Rules. I woke up the next morning. Nothing felt magical, but something felt solid. I did not feel excited. I felt steady. That was new. Before, motivation came and left. Now, something stayed. It was trust. I trusted myself a little more. That trust came from one thing. I had done what I said I would do. Most people underestimate that power. Keeping small promises builds identity. Breaking promises breaks confidence. That morning, I noticed my thoughts. They were quieter. Not positive, just calm. Calm is better than positive. Positive can be fake. Calm is honest. I did not grab my phone. I sat on the bed. I breathed slowly. I reminded myself, yesterday was not special. It was intentional. So I wrote new rules. Not goals, rules. Goals are future dreams. Rules are daily behavior. Rule 1. No phone in the first hour. I knew this rule would hurt. That meant it mattered. Rule 2. One hard task before comfort. Work first, pleasure later. Rule 3. Move my body every day. Not for appearance, for energy. Rule 4. Speak honestly to myself. No excuses, no drama. Rule 5. End the day with reflection. Not judgment, reflection. These rules were simple. Simple is sustainable. Complex plans fail. I did not feel pressure. I felt relief. For the first time, I knew what to do. Decision removes confusion. That day, I worked again, the same way. One task, full attention. My mind resisted less. It was learning a new pattern. Resistance fades with repetition. I realized something important. Discipline is not force. It is training. You train your mind like a muscle, slowly, patiently. When I felt tired, I stopped. I did not punish myself. Self-respect builds consistency. That afternoon, I went for a walk. No podcast, no music, just steps. I noticed things, the sky, people, sounds. I had lived on autopilot for years. Awareness felt strange, but good. Presence makes life richer. During that walk, I understood something deep. My life had not been broken. It had been neglected. You do not need to destroy your past. You need to take care of your present. Neglect looks like laziness, but it is often fear. Fear of effort. Fear of disappointment. Fear disappears when you act. I returned home. I felt tired but satisfied. This was different from exhaustion. Exhaustion drains you. Satisfaction fills you. That evening, doubt appeared. It always does. A voice said, "This will not last. You always quit." I did not fight the voice. I answered calmly, "Maybe, but not today."
You only need to win today. That response felt powerful. I realized a mistake I had made for years. I tried to change my whole life. That was too heavy. Now I was only protecting today. One day is manageable. One day is light. That night I reflected again, not on success, on behavior. Did I follow the rules? Mostly, not perfectly. Perfect is unnecessary. Progress is enough. I slept well again, and something else happened. I felt respect for myself. That is rare. Self-respect is built through action, not affirmation. The next days followed the same structure. Not the same feelings, the same structure. Structure creates freedom. Without structure, life is chaos. Chaos steals energy. Each day, I felt a small shift. More focus, less anxiety. More clarity, less noise. People around me noticed. They said I seemed calmer. Nothing had changed on the outside, but everything had changed inside. I was no longer waiting. Waiting is passive. I was participating. Participation creates meaning. One afternoon, I failed. I broke a rule. I wasted time. Old habits returned. For a moment, shame appeared. Then I remembered something important. Failure is part of change. Quitting is the real failure. So I returned. No drama. I continued the next task. That moment taught me a powerful lesson. Consistency beats intensity. You do not need perfect days. You need honest ones. I stopped chasing motivation. I focused on alignment. Doing what I said, even when I did not feel like it, especially then. Identity follows behavior, not the opposite. I was becoming someone new, not because I changed everything, because I repeated small actions. One night I asked myself another question. What actually changed in that one day? The answer was simple. I stopped lying to myself. I stopped escaping discomfort. I chose responsibility over comfort. That is the real reset. Most people look for hacks. There are none. There is only attention. Attention to how you spend your time. Attention to what you avoid. Attention to what matters. Life improves when attention improves. I understood why that first day mattered. It was proof. Proof that I was not stuck. Proof that change was possible. Not in theory, in practice. That proof gave me confidence. Not loud confidence, quiet confidence. The kind that stays. By the end of that week, my life still looked the same, but I felt different living it. That difference was everything, because when your inner world changes, your outer world must follow. It is only a matter of time.
Part 3. the long-term impact, and your turn. Weeks passed, then months. Life did not become easy, but it became clear. Problems still appeared, stress still existed. The difference was simple. I no longer felt lost. Before, problems felt heavy. Now they felt solvable. Because I had a system. Not a perfect system, a human one. Simple rules, daily action. When life pushed me, I did not collapse. I adjusted. That is real strength. I stopped asking for motivation. I asked better questions. What matters today? What can I control? Control creates peace. I noticed something important. My time felt longer. Not because I had more hours, because I wasted fewer. Attention returned. When attention returns, life slows down. Moments feel full again. I listened better. I spoke less. Silence became comfortable. I no longer needed noise to escape myself. That was freedom. My work improved. Not because I worked harder, because I worked cleaner. One task at a time. Depth replaced speed. Depth creates value. People trust depth. Confidence grew naturally. Not the loud kind, the quiet kind that comes from consistency. I stopped explaining myself. Results speak quietly. I learned another lesson. Discipline creates self-respect. Self-respect creates confidence. Confidence changes behavior. Behavior changes life. It is a simple chain. Break one link, everything weakens. Protect one link, everything strengthens. I protected discipline. Not extreme discipline, daily discipline. Small actions done repeatedly. That is how lives change. I also learned patience. Change is slow, but regret is slower. Regret stays forever. Slow growth is kind. I stopped comparing myself. Comparison steals focus. Focus builds momentum. Momentum builds belief. Belief keeps you moving. I stopped asking, am I good enough? I started asking, am I honest with my effort? That question changed everything. Honest effort is always enough. Some days were bad, some days were empty, but they were mine. Ownership creates dignity. I stopped blaming my past. The past is fixed. Energy belongs in the present. The present is where power lives. I also noticed fear changed shape. Fear never disappeared. It became smaller, manageable. Fear grows when you avoid it. Fear shrinks when you face it daily. Courage is not bravery. Courage is repetition. Doing the right thing again, even when it's boring. Especially when it's boring. Boredom is the test. Anyone can act when inspired. Few act when uninspired. Those few change their lives. I became calmer under pressure, because pressure felt familiar. I faced discomfort every day. Small discomfort. Cold mornings, hard tasks, honest reflection. Small discomfort builds big strength. Comfort weakens slowly. Discomfort strengthens quietly. I also learned to forgive myself. Growth is not linear. You will fall back. Do not panic. Return to the rules. Rules are anchors. They pull you back when emotion drifts. That is why rules matter more than motivation. Motivation changes. Rules stay. 1 year later, my life looked different. Not because of luck, because of daily alignment. People asked me what was the secret. I answered honestly. I stopped lying to myself. I stopped waiting. I started acting today. That is all. No hack, no shortcut, just truth and action. Now this is where you come in. You do not need to change your life. That idea is too big. It will crush you. You only need to change one day. This day. Not tomorrow. Today is enough. Ask yourself one question. What am I avoiding? Write the answer. Do not judge it. Then choose one action, one uncomfortable action. Do it slowly, do it fully. That is how identity changes. Not by thinking, by doing. Clean your space. Turn off your phone. Face one task. Keep one promise. That promise is a seed. Protect it. Tomorrow, protect it again. Momentum is fragile at first. Handle it with care. Do not tell everyone. Build quietly. Let results speak later. Remember this. You are not behind. You are just distracted. Attention brings you back. Discipline keeps you there. Your life is not broken. It is waiting for leadership. Be that leader. Not perfectly, consistently. One day can change your direction, not your whole life. Direction is enough. Time will do the rest. Start today. That is how my life changed. That is how yours can too.
To support this channel, please subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment. Your engagement allows us to keep producing high-quality shadowing lessons for you.